Kanye West, an artist known as much for his controversies as his music. For over a decade, Kanye has pushed boundaries with his wild rants, unpredictable actions, and jaw-dropping moments. But lately, something strange has been happening. His controversies don't have the same impact they once did.
I see good things about Hitler also. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table.
Kanye's rants shaped his career, why his antics worked so well early on, and why his latest album drops just aren't having the same shock value anymore. Let's start at the beginning. Kanye's career kicked off in the early 2000s, but he didn't just make headlines for his music. He made headlines for his bold, unfiltered personality. Take Yeezus in 2013. Instead of a typical album rollout, Kanye performed at fashion shows, staged elaborate interviews, and even had a public feud with the media. The controversy wasn't just a byproduct of his personality, it was a key part of the marketing. The more outrageous Kanye's behavior was, the more people talked about his work. It was brilliant, and it worked. Then came The Life of Pablo in 2016, one of his most controversial releases. Kanye's Twitter tirades about his financial struggles, his feuds with other celebrities, and his personal life became as much a part of the narrative as the album itself. He once tweeted, "I'm this generation's Disney," which sparked controversy, but Kanye was using his rants as an extension of his music, pulling people into his world. For Kanye, controversy wasn't just a side effect, it was the fuel that drove anticipation for his albums. But then something started to change. By the time Jesus is King was released in 2019, Kanye's rants no longer had the same shock value. The world had seen it all before. His presidential run.
When I run for president in 2024, we're gonna definitely know what y'all laughing at.
And his Twitter storm started to feel predictable. Kanye was still controversial, but it was becoming harder to be surprised. When Donda dropped in 2021, Kanye tried to make a splash with the huge live event, endless listening parties, and some of his most grandiose public moments. But here's the problem: the public had already seen him do it all. The chaos was expected, not shocking. Instead of building excitement, people became desensitized. His fans were no longer hanging on every word. His rants didn't have the same power to stir the conversation. People knew Kanye was going to do something crazy, so when he did, it felt like just another episode. Back in 2005, Kanye shocked the world when he said,
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
During a live telethon for Hurricane Katrina, it was raw, it was emotional, and it cemented his place as not just a musician, but a cultural icon. Fast forward to the 2009 MTV VMA, when Kanye interrupted Taylor Swift's acceptance speech.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
This moment turned into an infamous TV moment, and Kanye was suddenly everywhere, but not for his music. At the time, it worked for him. The more controversial Kanye became, the more people tuned in. It was like a show. Every new album, every public outburst was part of his brand. So, why aren't Kanye's rants having the same effect anymore? Well, it all comes down to desensitization. For years, Kanye has used his behavior as a way to stay in the spotlight, but now, the world has caught on. He's no longer the genius provocateur who surprises us with his outbursts. Now, people expect it. But Kanye isn't giving up just yet. Despite his recent controversies falling flat, Kanye's still trying to make waves.
Spent like all the money for the commercial on these new teeth.
His latest tweets on X have once again stirred the pot, with Kanye doubling down on some of his more outspoken beliefs and ruffling feathers once again. In a series of recent posts, all while hinting at big changes coming with his upcoming album, Bully. Now, Bully has yet to drop, but Kanye is doing what he does best: creating noise. Kanye West has always been about pushing limits, but as the world has become more accustomed to his unpredictability, his impact has faded. The question now is, can Kanye reinvent himself once again? Will Bully be the album that brings people back into his orbit? Or has the shock factor finally run out? But will his rants ever get the same reaction? Tell me in the comments what you think. If people will still be impacted by what he says, or his spotlight has run out.